Hello, Elmont. This is Chat with Matt. I'm your host, Matt Preneur, and today I'm with the Honorable, soon-to-be Honorable Khaleel Anderson from Queens, New York. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us what he's been up to in his political career and what's going on. Khaleel, if you could give us a big introduction of yourself, let us know what you've been up to. We're doing this specifically for the youth, and I appreciate you being here with us today to have this important topic discussion.
Absolutely. I could not turn down the opportunity to introduce myself to young people in the community that are focusing on careers. So my name is Khaleel Anderson. I'm the Democratic nominee for the New York State Assembly in District 31. So that means that I'm an elected official, or soon to be elected official right here in my neighborhood. And it's a career that allows you to be entrenched in the community. It's a career that allows you to write the laws of the state of New York. It's a career that allows you to focus on community. And it's a career that allows you to be at the forefront of the issues that are impacting your friends, your family, and your neighbors right here in the community. And so an assembly member is someone whose job it is to write state laws, to negotiate the state's budget, to vote on and veto the state's budget, but to also bring community initiatives home to the neighborhood. And those are the three main responsibilities of a state assembly member in that respect. Each assembly member across the state of New York, there are 150, makes on average, or not on average, but every state assembly member and every state senator makes $110,000 a year. 6 months of the year, they're required to be in Albany, passing legislation, negotiating the state's budget. The other 6 months, we're down here in the district, speaking to our neighbors, our friends, and our family, keeping updated on what the issues and concerns are for the neighborhood.
Thank you for that. So let me put in some more background. Khaleel is from Queens, Far Rockaway, Queens. He is the Democratic nominee, as you see above my head, for Assembly District 31, which represents parts of Far Rockaway, it represents parts of Rosedale, South Richmond Hill, and South Ozone Park. Khaleel is 24 years old. There's so many people that are proud of Khaleel, not only people that voted for him. I couldn't vote for Khaleel. I live right across the street from his district. But from the moment I met Khaleel had a passion and this energy that told you he's about what he's talking about, regardless if he's running for office. Khaleel, you've been in the field since you were 14, giving back to your community, right?
Absolutely.
What made you want to give back to? Say it again.
I said, if you ask some others, it's been younger.
Okay, because I know you was part of helping to open up the Rockaway, the farm. What's the name again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was one of the first organizers, just one of the first people helping out with the Rockaway Youth Task Force, which is a youth organization right here in the Rockaways in Queens.
That is an amazing thing. I want one on my side of town. I'm pretty sure Elmont would like one. So what made you choose to get into politics?
You know what? Funny joke, it chose me. No. So look, I think one of the biggest things as to why I'm here is because I really wanted to provide a voice and impact, government. Impact the spaces and the rooms that we as young people are historically not involved in, rooms and spaces that we don't have access to. And being in government really allows me to have a seat at the table, to advocate for young people so that they can have a voice in these halls of power, so that we can advocate for more funding for schools, where we can invest in community centers, so that we can fight to make sure that young people have adequate opportunities for employment, and so that young people can have a voice. And that's really why I've always been involved, and one thing led to the next, and here I am running for office. I started out as an organizer, grassroots organizer, doing block cleanups in the neighborhood, and attending community board meetings and being involved with my civics and things of that nature, because people in the community need a voice. They need someone that they can go to, someone that they can rely on. But separate from that, someone that they know are going to hold their values and beliefs true. And I think that that's the importance of being a community leader. But separate from that, being the state representative for this area.
Yes, yes, yes. I wanna talk about the aspect, since this is the career series, the aspect of being in politics, no matter what the position. It's not the same as a regular job, right? Um, some seats, some offices have term limits, like the President of the United States. His office is for 4 years. City Council, those seats are for what? 2 years?
4 years.
3 years? 3 years. 3 years.
It's 4 years.
It's four? Why do they keep changing it? You have the mayor. The mayor is 4 years, right? So different seats have different term limits. Now, the person that held the seat before you, how long were they in that seat? Let's throw that number out there.
17 years.
17 years. So the former assembly member, she won a re-election. Khaleel, your seat is every 2 years, right?
Yep. So all state offices in the legislative body, so that's state assembly and state senate, are every 2 years. Gubernatorial, more executive positions like comptroller, gubernatorial. Then we have lieutenant governor. Those once every 4 years. And in Nassau County, where you all are, in Elmont, you guys have the Nassau County Legislature, and I believe those elections are once every 2 years as well. And you all have assembly members and senators in Nassau.
Real quick, I want a big shout out to Elmont assembly member who represents Elmont Valley Stream. I don't want to say her name wrong because someone corrected me. Say her name for me, Khaleel.
Yeah, so my colleague who represents the 22nd Assembly District is Mikael Solanges. And I'm honored to have met her and brought her to my district earlier this year just to show how urban farming and community gardening space works, which is something that her office is working on the program with on that, if I can.
Awesome. I had a chance to meet her on Merrick at a cafe, outside a cafe, and I was like, hey, I know you. And she was really down to earth, and now I get to follow on social media. Hopefully we're working on something. We was working on something before COVID hit. Hopefully we can get back to it next year. But I love her energy and her passion, so I'm excited to see you team up with her for our greater area that connects to Rosedale and Springfield Gardens and those neighborhoods. So there's an election November 3rd. You're on the ballot, right?
Twice.
Why are you on the ballot twice?
So I got nominated. I won the election on June 23rd, and I won the Democratic nomination. I also was nominated by the Working Families Party, and I'll be on the line for the state assembly, both on the Democratic line and on the Working Families Party line. I'm encouraging people to please vote for me on the Working Families Party line to send a message of strength to the Democratic Party that we really want reform. We want changes, and we want people who are going to stand up to the powers that be to ensure that the demands that we have, the resources that we need in our communities are met by the things that we're standing for.
That sounds amazing. That is so dope. So for a lot of New York state counties, for our youth out there, New York is a primarily Democratic state versus Republican. There are areas that are majority Republicans. So when it comes to a primary, which happens usually in the spring, summer, it's important that we actually get out and vote for our Democratic nominee, which is what happened with Khaleel. The people came out and they voted. Now, when Khaleel goes up for election November 3rd, myself and others, we pretty much know that Khaleel is going to win because our district is not Republican at all. It's probably 2% of the population. So if you really want to be involved and actually use your voice the right way, you have to understand your primaries and vote in your primaries, especially if it's really heavily to one side, Democratic or Republican, right?
You should always vote in your primaries. You should always vote in your primaries.
Yes, always. Always know about your voter registration deadlines. October 9th was the voter registration deadline for New York State, correct?
That's right, today,
Okay.
or October 9th. Yep.
Okay. So now I want to ask you about when you do go into office. What lays ahead? What do you see happening in the first year as far as you getting your steps in and becoming a member of this body?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main things that we're particularly going to be faced with as assembly members across the state is how do we plug the 15 plus billion-dollar deficit that we're faced with
Wow.
as a state? How do we address some of the loss of revenue that we've had over the last couple of months? How do we save the small businesses that have been struggling over the last few months? And also, you know, with the recent uptick in COVID-19, there are other small businesses that are now closing. How do we make sure that those folks get the resources that they need so they can survive past COVID? And so that's what we're going to be faced with for the first couple of months in my tenure as your assembly member. But also, separate from that, we're also going to be focusing on how we make sure we fund our schools, make sure that
Hmm.
they have the proper educational tools during this time. Right, a lot of folks are doing remote learning, so we want to make sure that the schools have the resources that they need. But separate from that, we're going to be doing, community initiatives to ensure that people who are unemployed or underemployed can get resources. And we have to fight on those front lines to make sure people who are hurt by this crisis um, can return to some space of normalcy.
Thank you. Please, yes, I hope all those things um, come to light for you and you get to have a major impact in that area. One thing I heard you say that I want to bring up for our youth. Um, I know you've been on tours with other state assembly members, right, in your district and meeting with them. Teamwork, right? Teamwork is vital in life, no matter where you are, where you're at, how young you are, how old you are. Teamwork is vital. Why are you bringing out other assembly members to your district? Why do you need them to see what's going on?
Because, the state assembly is a body of 150 members across the state. And to get any legislation passed, as you can imagine, you need consensus. And the best way to begin that process of building that consensus is to find things that are similar amongst the members in their districts to really help that
Yes.
process along. If they see it, they can believe it, and if they understand that it's something impacting their district as well, they can really be a part of the change. And so that's how you build consensus, working with people individually, one-on-one, to really get that message.
Mm. Yes, yes. Consensus, majority rules, right? No one man, how great, no matter how great we may think we are, you have to have a group of people working with you on the same agenda because for me, one of my biggest hashtags is community for community. I believe no man, no person, I mean, should just live in a silo. We can't do that anymore, especially in 2020. Um, I believe you have to be able to help your fellow man somehow, some way. And I think it's been great that you have been getting the other assembly members out and you've been meeting with them to find out what's going on with them. Because, like you said, the biggest consensus we have for positive change, and I believe you're going to lead that for my community and New York City and for New York State. I think you can affect those three areas. So I'm glad you're getting a jump on the ball and seeing who your friends are, right? And who you align with and who's going to walk the path that you want to walk. So
Mhm.
I personally appreciate you for that.
Who's going to fight the fight? Who's going to stand up? And who's going to be involved? Absolutely.
So, final thing, Khalil, so happy that you're with us today. And I hope you know that. Um, do you have a word of motivation, encouragement to our teens out there all over the world, not just in Elmont?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say my final word of encouragement to young people, all across Elmont, all across Queens, all across the city and state, is to find your craft,
Mm,
find what you're interested in, find what you love. You might not be good at it at first, but focus on it. Focusing on being an expert in whatever that craft is.
mm,
Whether it's bike riding, whether it's building or being an entrepreneur, whether it's math, whether it's accounting, whatever your craft is, whatever is something you're really, really good at, find it, hone in on it, focus on it, become an expert in it, and run with it. Because you never know what type of opportunities can be created, from your craft. One of the things that I was blessed with uh, being good at was organizing, getting people together,
Mm-hmm.
consensus, and getting folks behind one vision and one mission. And that's something that I've been really good at by God's grace, and I have honed in on it, built it out, and really have been able to produce. And that's what you guys want as young people. You want to be able to be experts, experts, experts. Whether it's technology, anything, just become an expert.
Amen to that. Thank you. Since you said census, we want to remind everybody out there the census deadline is approaching October 31st. Um, find out. I know you're teens and you're young, but you have a voice, and whoever's in your household, ask them, did we do the census? Are we being counted? Because I want my school to have more. No matter where your school is at, you should always want more for your school and your education. You want more for your Elmont library and our libraries in general. So our census is important for that. And also, November 3rd, once again, is the election. Go out and vote. It's a presidential year, but vote for everything. Know about everything that's happening at the city, state, and federal level. And that's my biggest encouragement to everyone out there. Khaleel, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. The community is proud of you. You're 24, and sometimes age doesn't matter, but right now it's like a badge of honor because there's a young man in front of us, a young person in front of us who did something that maybe we didn't see coming. I know I didn't see it coming, but you did it. You're carrying through. Good luck November 3rd. And I look forward to being a Queens Assemblyman for many, many, many years, brother.
Thank you much, Matt. And I appreciate you having me on tonight.
No problem. I can't wait till we do this again. Thank you, everyone. This is Chat with Matt. That is your future Honorable Khaleel Anderson, New York State Assembly member for District 31. Wow, he's amazing. Go check out his website, Khaleel for the People. Khaleel, the number 4, the People. Find out about him for yourself. Have a good day, everybody.